and we are back in the post show. And William, you got some really cool pictures here. Everyone, we are watching the chat below. Looks like Tony asked if he's connected to the chat. Yes, everyone in the chat, you are connected directly to our live show, which is something I think is really fun. But let's go ahead and start with, so this is your home studio, right, William?
Yes.
And I've got some close-ups of your computer there, too.
Yeah, we're still working on it. You know, it's a work in progress. The computer box that you see there, that's something new that we're working on. It's got the i7 7700K in it, and I'm waiting on some more parts to be delivered, hopefully today or tomorrow through Amazon, that we can finish that one up with. But yeah, that's Stream Tank number 4. That's the 4th one that we built. The first one was pretty awesome. We retired it. The second one was stolen.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, the second one was stolen from us. We're using number 3 at the Legends Stadium now, and then this is number 4. So
it's a sin.
So
yeah, we had a break-in back in January in our truck.
They're like, wow, this thing looks pretty bad. We'll steal this.
Yeah, they busted windows out and everything.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. So you've got solid-state hard drives in there. Wow. So did you build this yourself?
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like a souped-up engine underneath like some fancy car in our world.
It is that it's got the cooler in it. That's what makes it look really cool. Now that graphics card I just put in there just to go ahead and install the stuff for the motherboard. I've actually got a 1080 graphics card that we've got coming in as well. Or actually, you're showing a different picture there. That's the one that's at the Legends Stadium. That's the 10 set. That's Stream Tank number 3, which is amazing. It can't handle anything that we throw at it. And that's got the 6700 processor in it. 6700K.
Wow. Crazy. And now this I want to talk about too.
Okay.
This is your Ubiquiti, right?
Yeah, that's one of 3 Ubiquitis that we've got there installed at the stadium. And we went with the 5 gigahertz model as well.
Wow. And that's something, you know, maybe if anyone's interested, they could... I don't know a lot about it, but everyone's talking about it. And it seems like an amazing product.
Yeah. So the Ubiquiti access point there, make sure that if you get them, I've learned this, that you want to get the LRs, which is the long-range version. And then once you get that installed, it's pretty easy using the Unify setup, which is software that comes with it, to get the other 2 access points as repeaters from that main access point.
Gotcha.
That's you've seen our replay controller there.
There it is. Yeah, and it looks just so good. So tell us about your camera setup here. So you've got a camera in center field, and then you've got, one on first base and third base? Is that how it's set up?
That's correct. We're using, it's kind of crazy because we got different model cameras, different makes of cameras that we're using there at the stadium. One of them is your camera that you sent us, the PTZOptics camera that you see. David is who that is that's running it there for us, which is on the third baseline. Last night it was raining. This is when this video was taken, and we didn't put a camera into center field because we didn't have anything to cover it from the rain, and it was raining pretty hard here in Lexington. So we didn't want to take the chance with it, so you don't see a center field angle on that broadcast there. But behind home plate we got the JVC. I believe it's the H260 model, I want to say, or H620 model, excuse me, is what we're using behind home plate, and it's amazing. It's a really good camera.
There's a joystick.
First base we're using a Sony camera, and in center field it's another PTZ camera.
And the value of PTZ, obviously, for somebody who's in a press box hundreds of feet away, it's not like you even have to worry about it. And the Ubiquiti product is what's actually bridging the pan tilt zoom controls, right?
Correct. Yeah. So our setup in center field, I assume that's what everybody's really interested in because it's such a long run, but we're still able to control our camera in center field. Every ballpark that I've ever been to has either got an SDI cable ran out there or they've got fiber optics installed to their video boards. And most of the time when they install the fiber optic cable, well, there's usually 2 or 3 extra leads that are out there that's not being used. So what we did at the Legends Stadium is we took the fiber optic cable and converted it over to SDI with this adapter that we ordered off of Marker Tech or someplace like that, and so we were able to convert that over to it and basically just send it up to the press box through the SDI cable, and it works beautifully.
Wow.
I'm sorry, through the fiber cable.
Oh, it's fiber.
SDI won't quite make it out there.
Okay. And there we go. We'll go back to this shot here. So let's see if we can answer some questions from the chat. Is there anything in there that we should be talking about, Tess?
Are there any portable, on Facebook, Andres is saying, are there any portable Ubiquiti Wi-Fi extenders? I do work with locations in the middle of nowhere.
Well, the thing about the Ubiquiti stuff is, it's point to point, so you can go many miles in between as long as you got a line of sight. They do make a USB plug-in antenna that you can plug into like a laptop or something like that would be able to pick up your station antenna. I haven't used those yet, but I do know that the point to points work very well and the access points work extremely well.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about these Ubiquiti routers. In fact, we have a Ubiquiti router in our office. Let me see if I can get to it on this playlist. We use them in our office. They're actually absolutely great. Here, this shot right here. Let me see if I can. Right up above, we've got them in the drop ceiling. There's one right there. That's a Ubiquiti router. And we love them. They're multicast enabled, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's kind of tricky. I mean, that's not much to look at, but that is a Ubiquiti router, wireless router there. And they come out of the box multicast enabled, which allows us to, when the NDI cameras come out, all I'll say is that's going to be a big deal. Because then, if you've got a multicast enabled PTZOptics camera on a wireless network, or on a regular network, honestly, probably would be the best, you can pick it up with vMix, you can pick it up with a TriCaster, you can pick it up with a video monitor, no additional bandwidth on your network, right?
Yeah,
and it's just enabled.
We've actually got a setup. We've got a setup at the stadium to where they do a post-game show. I don't think I've given you any pictures of that or not, but we got a basic vMix HD license that we use down in our tap room where they do the post-game show, and so we're able to take through our Ubiquiti routers, able to take the NDI through that, and it's live and in real time as it happens as well. So that's been a game changer for us as well.
Yeah, I took a snapshot of this. There's 2 snapshots we haven't shown yet. So this is we did show your home studio, where I zoomed into your
Some
computer.
people were asking to see the cameras in his home studio, if he was able to.
Would you be able to show us your cameras?
The cameras that I'm using today is not PTZOptics camera. The one that you sent me is at the stadium, so I don't know if you want me to do that or not.
No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can. We're using the 30 times zoom.
Live in action at the stadium. So.
Okay. Let me. Matter of fact, I've got an extra one here that I could just kind of show you, but we're using the.
Is that a Panasonic?
There we go.
That's a Vadio.
Yeah, no, this is the Vadio.
Yeah.
This is the Vadio 30 times zoom camera. We've got a couple of those here in the studio that I'm using. And basically, I'll have myself and then somebody that's helping me do the show here, and we'll talk to a coach via vMix call from wherever they're at. The other night we had 3 different coaches that called in vMix call that joined us on the show. But I've got a couple different backgrounds here in the studio. One is a green screen. The other one's just a black background. that we've got, and then you see on the wall here, it's just some sound material that we put up on the wall.
So you really must love sports, because during the day, and I'm sure on the weekends, you're live streaming sports. Then at night, you're coming home and you're doing interviews. You're like hosting your own show, right? So you were just sports all day long, every day.
It truly is a labor of love, a passion for me. Again, it's all about the kids and getting them the exposure that they deserve, and hopefully we get some more kids into college, and that's really what it's all about. I let the money come secondary, and thankfully, what we've done has led to some big opportunities for us, whether it's, broadcasting minor league baseball or broadcasting Division I college basketball. It's all paid off, and we just lead by the man upstairs.
It's an honorable mission. Christopher says, do you use a PTZ to follow action?
Yeah, well, we did. We used your camera, the PTZOptics camera, on our third baseline. That gets a separate shot. We got some shots programmed into it, so David learned how to do that last night. So yeah, we have got that program now to where he can get certain shots. Like for example, here you see the pitcher shot. If somebody's on first base, we get the pitcher and the first baseman, or we can get a close-up of the batter, and that's just by hitting a couple buttons on the IP controller there, we're able to get to it very quickly. And he's an old Atari guy too, David said, so he was able to work that joystick pretty well. That was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Everybody loves the joysticks, I have to say.
They're
it's fun. Like, I think everyone has like a fond childhood memory of like a controller or something, and they just, even the joysticks, I tell you. Oh, they love them. I love them. Everyone loves them.
Yeah, he was saying Galaga all day, every day there.
Yeah, and so do you actually have any cameramen at all, or is everything remotely operated?
Well, as the PTZ cameras, get more advanced, and they've helped us eliminate a couple of those positions. If I'm doing a football game, I only need one camera guy, honestly, or even a basketball game, we only need one camera guy, that's physically moving the camera left or right for us. We put the PTZ cameras on the end zone, so if I need a free throw shot or if I need something quick like that, we pre-program that into our software or to the IP controller, and we're able to get that very quickly. So that eliminates a couple camera guys for us, which ultimately saves us money.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, and I think I've heard this many times, so you still need probably at least one real cameraman for football and basketball, because there's just so much going on. It's an intuitive thing, needs to be done. But you're basically allowing the person is it the same person who runs vMix also runs a joystick, or do you have like just one person operating the joystick and then another person operating vMix?
When we do our high school stuff, a lot of times students will come up and help us because they're seeking to get the education on what we're doing. So we use a lot of student interns, and they're able to pick up right away how to use the controller or use the software that we're using. Yeah, so that works out a lot. Now when we do the pro sports, if I go do a big college game or if I do the minor league baseball stuff, a lot of times, if there's no college kids that are available, which, the Legends, through their minor league baseball program, they've got local colleges that send some interns up there that help us out a lot. But when we do go to a holiday tournament and do the big college basketball stuff, we've got to take a full crew with us, and it's, we're not taking the big box truck like you see, some of the leaders in sports take out there, some of the major channels. We're doing it all in our stream box. And through our stream box using the vMix stuff. So, but yeah, we normally staff all of our cameras for that. Just to make sure that we get everything covered and the client is happy.
Curious, are those college students, interns that they send you, are they familiar with vMix? Is that something being taught?
Not really. Not really. I mean, it's basically a hands-on. They pick up right away.
Right. If they're broadcast majors
we've got our
or something,
vMix,
they're familiar.
Yeah, they're all they're all wanting to be in that field of work. So, you know, they pick up very quickly. A lot of them, matter of fact, when we do some SEC network games, when we go up to the University of Kentucky and help them out sometimes, the student interns there, they run the cameras for us. All the SEC network games that are broadcast, you know, students are running those cameras. The professional help is the guys that actually produce it. So they use their own video switchers there, and basically it's, you know, when we go over there, we'll take our either our vMix computer, or we'll take our Blackmagic switcher and then basically just send a program out that goes over fiber to the football stadium, and from the football stadium they put the overlay graphics on it and everything else. Everything's ran fiber underground at UK. So,
Wow.
But yeah, it's like that at all the SEC schools. So that's pretty easy setup there, where we just basically do the video show and then they take care of everything else for us.
So, William, I
And
realized
it's
that
mostly student led.
we never did our giveaway, so I'm going to run the giveaway real quick. Someone is going to win a PTZOptics shirt and
PTZOptics shades.
sunglass shades and the Chat Connect Pro. We're trying to step up our game, and then in a couple weeks we're giving away a camera. But let me run.
And now it's time to announce this week's live technology giveaway winner. As noted in the contestant rules, all winners must be present in the chat room to claim the prize, or a new winner will be drawn. Drum roll, please.
All right, so we're back to our normal schedule here. I'm going to pull a winner. Great idea, Tess, to give away a shirt and sunglasses and Chat Connect
They deserve
Pro.
it.
Hopefully we have Frederick Goodwin in the chat room.
Frederick Goodwin.
If
are
not,
you
we're back
here
to
on
our normal-
Facebook or YouTube.
Back to our normal setup where we're hoping that our winners are live, or we will pick a new winner. And yeah, I got just so
you have
excited
to say
about
hi
the
in
show
the chat
today.
to claim your prize.
I forgot about the giveaway because we've been talking just so much cool stuff, and I'm trying to operate vMix, so I'm not the best host in the world. I'm always forgetting questions. What are we forgetting to talk about?
Is there anything left on your list that you feel is worth being said, William?
Well, somebody had asked about the latency through the
yeah,
Ubiquitis,
I
and
did
that's
see that.
you know, that's not a problem. I mean, it's basically the Ubiquitis work. It's kind of like plugging into the wall jack. You know, it's then and there. It's real time, so you don't really have any latency at all. You can go. We found that you can go up to 10 miles with it as long as you got a line of sight. So and it
Jeez.
works just like you're plugging into the wall.
How far do you guys travel?
We travel all over the country.
Oh.
Matter of fact, I'll show you some pictures if you got time.
Oh,
here
yes. Let me show you the
of,
pictures. And Tess,
some
just
more
let me
of
know we
our-
should draw another winner just as needed. If
Yeah,
it
give
doesn't
it
come.
another minute and then I'll just tell you.
Is it cool if I run some of these pictures?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. This is at Germain Arena, which is down in Estero, Florida. We did the college event there. This is our PrepSpin program there over our big screen, picked up off the YouTube app. This is me at Rupp Arena. We're doing the Kentucky High School Sweet 16. We're
That's a
using
high
there in
school
that picture.
game?
You got. Oh man, this is high
What?
school basketball in Kentucky.
It's that.
It is huge.
big. Wow.
It is huge. Yes.
Had
So
no
this
idea.
is the state championship tournament, which is Kentucky. I believe is the only one that's left that has a Sweet 16 left that they play. Everything else is by class, so you have several winners. Well, Kentucky just has one, so everybody packs Rupp Arena for this thing. This is just a setup. I believe we were at Eastern Kentucky University for a regional tournament. This is at the Legends Stadium again when they were throwing off the fireworks.
Wow.
This is lacrosse, or no, I'll take that back. It's field hockey that you're looking at, produced there by us. Again, Germain Arena. This is on their big video board that you see there. We have our program on their big video board, and then DePaul and Baylor was playing women's basketball. Again, this is the Gulf Coast Classic. And we've eliminated, you see the box there with the keys on it in the lower right. We've eliminated that with the new replay controller that we have, so we don't even use that anymore. We were just recording to solid state drives and then pulling it back up through that. But now with vMix Replay, we're able to just use vMix Replay. Don't have to worry about that. This is at Western Kentucky University, where we're doing the state football championship games. Just another basketball shot. This is in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena.
Whoa.
We put our program output on the big. That's probably one of the biggest boards that I've seen, other than where the Dallas Cowboys play at. But this thing is huge as well. Again, T-Mobile Arena here with our setup.
That must feel. What does it feel like to be the broadcaster in charge of a place that big?
I live for it, so I really like the challenge. And as soon as that first game tips off, I mean it's game on for me. I love the challenge and the reward that follows by doing something like that. And
right.
I must say this too, Paul. Everything that I've done has started out, as a hobby. It was just, again, in the beginning, it's just about giving back to the schools and the kids, and it's really grown from that. So by me giving back to the schools and the kids, getting them the coverage that they deserve, it's all led to this crazy wild ride that I've been on, and it's been amazing meeting you guys. I'm a big fan of your show as well. You and Tess are amazing. I tune in all the time, and watching you guys on there and learning the gems that you guys put out there. I learn something new every show, so thank you.
Good. I love that.
Yeah, I can't believe some of these pictures that you're showing me here, because
I know, you are legit.
I did no idea you had done some of that stuff. And I mean, more about this broadcast. You've got a lot more experience. I mean, me and Tess are here in our studio. We do stream quite a lot.
We're like in our little box.
But seeing you at the T-Mobile Stadium.
There's a lot of pressure there.
Oh, my gosh. Now, Tess is actually going to Texas on Monday, and she's actually going to be streaming for hundreds of thousands of people. So what can you tell Tess about being in those big pressure stadiums? Because you're going to be in a stadium, Tess. You realize that, right?
I know.
So what is it like? How can you prepare yourself for that? Like, you're in control of a stream that many people are watching.
The most important thing that I found is get there early. If you get there early so you have time to problem solve, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
make sure your cameras are working.
Exactly.
Bring extra cable if you need to.
Okay, redundancy.
Extra
make sure we have
cables.
extra everything, and having to, make your setup fit in all these different places. Each place is different.
Yeah.
Each place has its own troubles, right? I assume.
I think probably the most trouble thing that I've ever had to do was we did a baseball event in the Metrodome. Now they tore it down since then, but we had to run 1,000-foot fiber optic cable out to our center field camera, and then their Titantron that they had there, their big video board, was all standard definition, so we had to convert that back over. So you're going to run into challenges all the time. It's how you overcome them is the big thing. So make sure that you got your adapters, that you talk to the facility ahead of time, find out what they've got, and make you a checklist, and use that checklist and check it twice.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
One of the things I've found, I'm going to pick another winner here.
Willie Williams was the last one. I'm not seeing.
One of the things I don't do a whole lot, but from time to time I'll go out and live stream a concert for a friend or something here and there. And one of the things I've found is that the power requirements, you're dealing with a lot of different technology. You got multiple monitors, you've got computers, you've got cameras, you've got mixers. You need a lot of outlets. And are people, what are you normally, like, are people just saying, here's an extension cord and then you handle it from there? Or how does that usually work? Because that's been my biggest problem.
Yeah. For the most part, we pack our own extension cords. So we make sure that we got a couple for each camera. So definitely take those with you, because the stadium, most of the time, if they even have them, they may try to charge you to use them. because they're usually locked away, and it's for their production purposes. One thing that you definitely don't want to forget is your communication headsets to your camera guys. There's been in situations where we've had to use our cell phones to communicate to our camera guys because we went off and didn't either check with the arena to see if we can rent what they got there. I'm talking about the ClearCom things. Make sure that you're able to communicate with your camera guys so that you have a very good show. But power is available everywhere we've been. Getting to it is another story.
Yeah.
So make sure you got plenty of cables.
What about network connection, like an Ethernet cable? Do you bring your own, or do you expect that they have that?
Yeah, that's on our checklist ahead of time with the arena. Most big arenas, they charge the person that's putting on the event for the internet bandwidth. So definitely if we're doing a big college event or even some of these high school events that are held at these universities, that's something that you definitely want to go over and make sure that they've got what you need ahead of time. So in our case with the YouTube stuff that we stream, we want to make sure that they got 10 megabytes per second upload so that we can do our 1080p HD stream.
Right.
That's just a rule of thumb. We say 10 so that we have enough overlap for us there to work with in case something happens to that network. But also ask for a dedicated network. You don't want people in the stands being able to access that same network that you're on.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming and all of that, do you normally stream to a private content delivery network, or it looks like for high school you're streaming to YouTube? How does that normally play out in the different levels of sports that you work in?
So the stuff that we do on PrepSpin is all on YouTube. The stuff that we are contracted out to do, say for BD Global or for the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, I'll start with them because they stream to the NFHS network, which is a pay-per-view platform. So they charge people to watch the state championship events, which is only like $10, but it's again, it connects those families for people that can't get to the game, and we call them virtual tickets. So instead of us saying, hey, we're selling you a pay-per-view, we're selling you a virtual ticket that you can access.
I like that.
For the BD Global stuff that we do the college sports in, sometimes we put it on YouTube, sometimes we put it on ESPN, sometimes CBS Sports Network. I mean, it goes all over the place, so it just depends on who picks up those games for us.
Very interesting. So people, so let's just talk about that for a second, because I think we still have some more time, and that's really interesting to me. So you're going out, are people seeking you out of these larger television networks saying, hey, you're the one broadcasting this event that we want to show, or do you have to cold call large networks and say, hey, I'm broadcasting the Kentucky State Championship, would you like to show it on ESPN? Like, how does that negotiation work?
Most of the time it's something that the promoter of the event does. In BD Global Sports, on their end, now they work with the TV stations, and contract out some of their events, so they actually selling that product to the network. What we're doing is we're basically just a production company that sends it to their network. So they give us, either our TMP stream address, or they'll come and they'll plug up like a satellite that sends it back to their facility for them. So most of the time in a truck that pulls up to the stadium, and we just take our SDI out and plug directly into them from our program output.
Ah, the giant television tracks. Yes. Yep. Wow.
Yes. Zaleski, Melchizedek.
And we can do multicasting too, like you said. We can not only send that signal to that truck, but we can also stream it out, using the venue's internet, record it. We provide, all the footage for the colleges, for example. So after the game's over with, they'll come up to us and ask for a thumbstick drive. We prefer the USB 3.0s because they work really well. So we'll give them a copy of the game after the game. And it really is a full service that we're offering whoever's putting on that event.
So, okay, so you are doing, so let me make sure I understood that. So you're streaming the event for them, you're doing the great, you're allowing coaches to, the students can get the information from the coaches, but you're also doing on demand, before people leave the stadium, hey, do you want to buy this sporting event, or is that more just for the coaches? or just
Yeah,
for
so
people
what
who-
that is each college. Now we're talking about the college events here. So the college will have people that basically do video editing for
Bless
them
these
that need that footage so they can put it on Twitter or highlight clips, things like that. So we provide them a thumbstick, which is a thumbstick drive that they're able to take that footage off of, and it's the whole game that's on there, and they're able to cut out the highlights and tweet it out on their own. And then it's also just good for game day film for the coaches. Now in the high school stuff, we give that option for the coaches and for the fans to buy. So we have the PrepSpin game stick, for example, which we sell through our website. So any high school game that we have on our website that we broadcast, we make that available for purchase to our fans.
Very cool. Yeah, because that's something I think, monetization is not something that we normally cover, but it's definitely a hot topic of how can we monetize, what we're doing in our for the live streaming industry. And one of the most fun ones for me is after a live concert, Blackmagic has these like 200 bay USB sticks, and you click a button and then 200 USB sticks have the concert on it.
Really?
They're like, before you leave the concert hall, $10 for the whole concert that you just watched.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I
And
never knew that.
Blackmagic makes them, and they're not even that expensive. It's like $1,000 for one of these things, and you put 100 USB sticks in, boop, they've all got it in like 2 minutes.
That's
1080p
crazy.
video, burn all of them, and then you have a kid. Because this is like the entrepreneurial, reminds me of like, the boardwalk days where the kids are trying to sell, newspapers or something. It's like, hey, the show's over. Who wants a USB stick for $10? And stuff like that. That's the world is gonna lead that way, I think.
Yeah, we basically used to take the big CD burner, that does duplicate copy. So we'd have one master CD, and then we put them into that at those events. But Blackmagic certainly has made that easy for us if we wanted to use the SD cards. But also the vMix, where you can record it to the hard drive, transfer it over to the USB sticks. You can get your USB stick duplicator and do it pretty quickly as well. So there's several ways you can get that done. Matter of fact, put me on full screen for just a second. I'm going to show you this old school CD tray thing that I've got here.
You're right, William, by the way. I think the Blackmagic one, it does SD cards.
Yeah.
I don't think it does USB sticks. What?
You see this?
That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I've actually retired this thing because of the digital media that we're able to now do without having to do the DVDs. So
Wow.
a lot easier now.
A couple people asked, what is the model of the Ubiquiti access point you're using?
That is something that I'll have to get back with them on because I don't have them here physically with me. They're at the stadium.
Okay.
But it is the LR version.
LR version. Right.
And it stands for
one
long
of the
range.
things I learned from Cruise Week TV, who was the winner of the streaming awards, he asks his guests to answer the questions in the Facebook comments. So if you have a chance, if you could read through the comments of the Facebook stream, and if there's some questions in there that only you would know the answer to, I'm sure that people would appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll definitely get in there and answer everybody's question that I can.
Well, this has been and I was not expecting half of this stuff. I don't know much about
this has
sports
been a
streaming,
fun
so this is an
show.
interesting. We both learned a
We did
lot.
learn a lot.
And William, you really told us. You kind of explained things in a very. I really feel like I could understand a lot of
Same.
the stuff.
And that's saying a lot for me because I never understand anything here.
So thank you so much.
I
for
really
coming on
appreciate
the
the opportunity. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. You guys keep rocking on. I love watching your show, and you guys have done nothing but big things, and you spread a lot of nugget love, is what I like to call it out there. Get a lot of people some nuggets to use and take back in their production. So thank you very much.
Well, we'd love to
Thanks
have you
again.
on again.
Yeah.
Anytime,
Absolutely.
anytime.
All right. Well, take care. Have a good weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. We're on every Friday. Tess is going to be doing her solo show in a couple weeks.
Yep.
We're both
We'll see
going
how
on
that goes.
vacation, so I'm going to do a solo show. Tess is going to do a solo show. It'll be fun. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And that's all, folks. We appreciate your participation in the chat room and can't wait to host our next informative Q&A session. Your questions drive the conversation forward for live streaming professionals around the world. Until next time, happy streaming!